Front Office Insights are presented by Sage. Let's welcome in Dodgers Executive VP and General Manager Brandon Gomes. Brandon, it's Brian Kenny here. Congratulations to you.
Thank you, BK. Appreciate it.
It seems like forever ago that we were talking to you. I don't even remember, game 5. It's all a blur. Maybe game 2, I think they were saying now in my ear. I just wondered, like, I'm sure you guys, you study what works and what might not work at the time. You went through the wild card this year, so you had the Reds, Phillies, Brewers, Blue Jays. What did you learn about what wins from this run?
Turns out it's helpful to play well in the playoffs. That's what helps you win. I think over the last couple of years, we've we've played really good baseball in the postseason. We've done it 2 very different ways. Obviously, incredibly bullpen heavy in 24 and 25, very starting pitcher heavy. I think a lot of it comes down to performing well in big spots. Having a group of guys that really believe in each other and rise to the occasion in big moments. And you got to have your guys play well. And our group is it was a special group. The core group's incredible, and that's what they do. Everything they do starting from day 1 of spring training. So yeah, we've played really quality baseball over the last 2 years, and also caught some breaks, which is helpful.
Yeah, you guys have gotten bounced too. When you were great, you guys won 111, you won 107, and you can just lose. I know Joel Sherman, who was on the show, said like your team did remind him of the late '90s Yankees, where there's a calm even when you're trailing in the playoffs. Is there something to that, all that experience in the postseason?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you saw the resiliency of the team, and, no matter what, whatever the score is in the game or in the series, there's a 1 pitch at a time mentality, and like, hey, we've been here before. We felt the highs, we felt the lows, and just keep on grinding. And if you keep doing that and you kind of stack pitch by pitch, good things will happen ultimately. Well,
I'm wondering, what is it like for GM to be watching these games? You had the 18-inning game, and game 6 and 7 had to be brutal on you. So I want to take about one place in time. And it's not even the biggest play, but it's a pretty big play. Game 7, bottom of the 9th, tie game, bases loaded, right? Somehow lost in a pileup of epic plays. Yeah. The Andy Pajes catch jumping on Kike. What are you thinking at this second?
My son was sitting on my lap. I think picked him up with one hand, not really noticing that I did that. And the whole, our whole group just completely erupted when Andy went and got that ball. There's so many incredible moments throughout that series. And then game 7, obviously just a whole nother level. So, the Blue Jays played incredible baseball, and, we're very fortunate to be on the winning side of that series.
So what is it like for you then? I'm sure your families are around, but Andrew Friedman is around. Are you dispassionate, or are you like going nuts? Are you throwing down drinks? Like, what are you doing to, like, you can't play anymore. You used to play, but you can't play. What is it like watching that as a GM?
Yeah. I mean, it's high adrenaline, high stress, very dialed in every pitch, certainly some white knuckle moments. There's a lot out there. Obviously, you can't go out and affect the game, but there's, everybody that does what we do pour so much time and energy into putting the team together. So it's a ton of fun, and it's a ton of stress and anxiety, but, the highs and lows and having those types of stakes, it's a beautiful thing.
I'll ask you a sportsy topic that we've kicked around. Do you feel that you're a dynasty?
I don't know. That's for other people to decide. All we're worried about is, like, each and every year going out and putting the best possible team we can out there. We have a ton of fantastic superstars on our team that are egoless and are solely focused on winning. So that's what we're most excited about, to continue to build around that group and trying to win as many championships as possible.
So yeah, I should have prefaced it by saying don't be modest, because then you end up being modest. No, don't be modest. Just say it. All right. I wonder, can tanned and rested, can that path be replicated? And I use that meaning most of your staff is under 100 innings coming into the playoffs. Can you be doing this going forward?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's anything by design. I think, there's just different paths to go about it. Obviously, you would love guys to run wire to wire and be, just as strong at the end as they were at the beginning, like Yama was. But each year poses its own challenges, whether it's injuries or different types of performance variation. What you have to do is do your best to build out a well-rounded roster with a group of guys that, has a strong clubhouse culture, and obviously Doc and our staff does a great job keeping the guys motivated and dialed in and prepared. So really that's all you can worry about, and then each year kind of plays out as it does, and continue to troubleshoot and build a team that can handle different challenges along the way.
Yeah, staying fluid. You could make a case too. You mentioned Yamamoto. You can make a case. You don't win either title without Yoshi Yamamoto, who is a finalist for the Cy Young Award coming up here soon. What's your evaluation of Yamamoto, what you expected and what you've gotten?
I mean, performance-wise, obviously, has been outstanding. What we saw last year, and him really, once he got settled in and coming into his own, once he came back from injury, and each time out in the postseason getting better and better. This year was just incredibly impressive to go out. You just don't see that combination of stuff and execution, really diving into some of the game planning components and how to prepare each game. And then just an absolute killer mentality. We talk about Shohei's 3-homer game and 10 punch-outs. Like, I think what Yama did pitching in 6 and 7 and having the same stuff that he did on 7 as he did in 6, and actually getting the most outs out of any of our starters that game. I think you put it up there with things like we may never see again.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it before. Hard to see it now. I want to talk off-season a bit. You have $71 million coming off the books. That's bad news for everybody else. So you tell me, what will the level of investment be for the Dodgers this offseason?
Yeah, I don't think it's any different than other years. It's kind of looking at the current roster. We're fortunate with how aggressive we've been the last few off seasons to have a really high floor. So we can look at free agency and trade scenarios on how to fill the different areas to continue to make us as good as we possibly can to win another World Series this year. So it could look a lot of different ways. Certainly ownership has been nothing but supportive along the way, so we don't expect anything different on that front as far as like we're going to go out and put together the best possible team we can. Keeping in mind like the goal is to win this year, but also to make sure that we continue to be as good as we possibly can for as long as we can.
Last year, Brendan, you went all out for bullpen help, and come the postseason, no Yates, no Tanner Scott. Blake Trinan struggled, and I thought you did great. But I'm on record. That's the way to attack it. Did not work out the way you'd planned, I'm sure. So what did you learn from that? What's the plan for building a killer bullpen?
Yeah, I think what we did last year was to try to put ourselves in position come trade deadline, not having to go into that market. I don't think that mentality will be any different, and taking a good hard look at our pitching depth with what we feel like right now is something that is really strong in our system. And obviously that's a fleeting thing, and pitching depth can go quickly as we've seen in the past. But continuing to look at how to supplement and make sure we're prepared to, like we talked about earlier, for a lot of different scenarios. And when we feel like there's a opportunity to add and really move the needle as far as championship odds, we'll do it. And if not, that's okay. We have a really strong group as is, and kind of let some of these guys go out there and get some opportunity.
There we go. All right, Brandon Gomes again, Los Angeles Dodgers, 2-time World Series champions, 2 in a row now, 3 in the last 6. Brandon, congratulations to you, and enjoy your off season. Thank you.
Thanks very much, BK.